Hey, everybody. Tim here, Gray Man Poda, amateur radio call sign, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. Guys, gals, it is Wednesday night, and you are here for the Ham Radio Kids Table live stream. Now, the stream will get started shortly, and while they're backstage getting things ready, make sure you look down below. Take a look at all those different content creators that are part of the Ham Radio Kids Table. Make sure you follow their channels. And while you're there, make sure you hit the like button for this live stream, and also share it with your friends. So grab a cold drink, buckle up, the live stream will get started shortly.
Hey guys, this is Whiskey. That's for Juliet. Mike. Y'all may also know me as Jumbo Marshmallow, and y'all are watching the Ham Radio Kids Table.
How's it going? I'm Josh, KI6NAZ, and you and I are watching the Ham Radio Kids Table.
Hey radio friends, I'm Kevin, Kilo Echo Zero, Victor India Mike. My channel is the Traveling Ham. And today I get to activate this beautiful spot right here. But I'm jealous of you because you're watching the Ham Radio Kids Table, where it's not your grandfather's ham radio. We have a whole seat for you, but you'll only need the edge.
That is classic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ham Radio Kids Table. We'll rent you the seat, but you'll only need the edge. This is not your grandfather's ham radio.
What? That's what Mike did.
Yeah, not really.
What?
He didn't have the
Thanks, Mike. A for effort. C's get degrees.
C's did get degrees.
Well, hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Ham Radio Kids Table. And tonight we're going to just jump right into it. We've got our friend Jason, KC5HWB. You might know him. He has a very small YouTube channel on Rumble. But here,
On Rumble. That's true. It is small on Rumble. You're not wrong.
I think we all have small YouTube channels on Rumble. But Jason is kicked off what's the right word? An initiative. Initiative.
I call it a project, but yeah, initiative works too.
Or project here in amateur radio, and we wanted to get him on to get as much awareness to that as early as possible into this. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it and get going.
Is that my cue?
Yes, Jason. I'm sorry.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to play like another intro or something.
Hey, so Jason, tell us about your new initiative project then.
So on 3 days ago, I started a new project that I'm calling 30 Days of Ham Radio. It is basically, I'm going to do a new thing inside of Ham Radio every day for the next 30 days. And it is started with Parks on the Air on day one. I did All Star on day two, which was yesterday. And today I did one about using FM Simplex, VHF FM Simplex, mostly 146.52. But we're going to do 27 more days, if I can math correctly. We're going to do 27 more days, a different topic each day, posting a new kind of like a vlog style video every day. And just to showcase all of the things you can do in ham radio. And I said in my first video, I'm like, this is 30 things you can do in ham radio. It's not everything. I could do 150 days of ham radio and probably still not hit everything. So I'm going to do this for the rest of September. And on top of that, it's all going to benefit the ARRL Teachers Institute, which if you don't know, have you guys ever had Steve Goodgame on this channel?
Not yet. I did talk to him.
Yeah, you should.
I talked to him when we were down in Alabama, and he said he's been running Reagan, but he was going to reach out to me when his schedule freed up just a little bit to come on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so all of this is to benefit ARRL Teachers Institute. They bring in teachers to Connecticut, to the headquarters in Connecticut. And I can't remember. Steve keeps up in the number. He's like, we did this many last year. We're going to try to do this many this year. And they'll have 10 to 15 teachers per session. And it's a week-long session. They fly them up there. They give them room and board, and they teach them all about ham radio. Most of them get licensed, and then the teacher goes back into their respective schools, and they teach their students about amateur radio. They're all STEM and science, math teachers type thing. So it's kind of in that genre. And it's a good program that Steve Goodgame started 3 or 4 years ago when ARRL hired him. He was a teacher by profession, already teaching ham radio in his classroom himself on his own initiative. So the ARRL hired him, and he's like, let's get you to do this nationwide. And that's exactly what they're doing. So it's a fantastic effort to get ham radio taught in the classroom nationwide. And it's something that we've been, the YouTube community, we as the YouTube community have been supporting for the last 3 or 4 years since Steve started, because Steve is kind of one of us. He had his own YouTube channel. He doesn't have time to run it anymore, so he doesn't do anything with it now because he's too busy doing the Teachers Institute. But everybody who knows Steve Goodgame knows how great of a guy he is. It's a really good initiative. So my plan is to try to raise $30,000 in the next 30 days for Teachers Institute. 2 years ago, Mike K8MRD did a 7 or 8 hour live stream on his channel that he called a telethon. He kind of kickstarted that whole thing, and they were able to raise $15,000 in one night, all donated to the Teachers Institute. And then last year, Josh did the same thing, and they were able to raise about $20,000 in one night, all donated to the Teachers Institute. So I thought, if those guys can do that in one night on one live stream, I should be able to do 30,000 in 30 days. So we'll see. I can say that, so Kevin, the guy that, Kevin Beal, he's in charge of donations and profit, not profit sharing, whatever the donations thing. He's got a title. I don't remember what his title is, but he's in charge of all the, gathering donations and doing fundraising projects. Yeah. And Steve put me in touch with him. I'd met him before, but Steve put me in touch with him when I pitched this idea to Steve. And so he's sending me daily emails saying, here's where we are. Here's how many donors we have. Here's how much we've raised so far. And as of this morning, as of last night, actually, because he'll get the numbers at night and he'll send them to me the next morning. As of last night, we just broken $1,000. So we're on the way. It's only day 3. We're doing pretty well so far. I'm hoping that number comes up, of course, but so far so good. And it's been a pretty fun effort so far. But I was telling my wife at dinner tonight, I was like, I'm mentally exhausted because I'm on like day 7. I've only posted 3 because I'm trying to stay like 4 days ahead. So I'm on like day 7 of recording stuff and getting it all put together and getting it to the editor and getting it. He sends it back to me, and I have a couple of small tweaks and get that. And then I got to upload it on YouTube. I got to upload it on Rumble. I got to rip the audio out and upload it on Spreaker for my audio audience. And I'm trying to do all of that real time. So it's been and I got 27 more days of it. So it's a thing, but it's really fun. I've had a lot of fun doing it. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next few weeks brings.
That's exciting.
I appreciate you guys letting me come on and talk about it tonight too.
We appreciate it. As a community, this is a great thing. And I can't say enough. I was having a conversation today with a gentleman. Electronics saved me. And when I was in high school, I was one of those misunderstood kids that they didn't know how to teach back then because they didn't understand, or STEM was not of importance in school like it is today. I was one of those kids that almost didn't make it out of high school, not because of a lack of intelligence, but because that had never been fostered properly. I went to the Navy. I was able to get an electronics school in the Navy, and everything that they're teaching the kids today, ham radio is the subject, but it's actually, it's learning physics. It's understanding electricity. It's understanding mechanics. It's all the kids who don't fit inside that box of traditional learning that are gaining so much from this. And it'll help them not just not just in school, but throughout their life. So I do encourage you, anybody, and we'll share the links that for Jason, $5, $10, just jump in, make a quick donation. It'll go a long way. And if I remember at the picnic, I think Steve said about $4,500 per teacher.
Yeah, roughly 4,000 to 4,500, depending on which section it is, and how fluctuating airline ticket prices and all that kind of good stuff. But yes, about that.
And what's that URL again?
It's ARRL.org/30 days. And that's just a forward. That's just a masked forward that takes you to the actual. It is on the ARRL website. Kevin set that URL up for me. So yeah, if you go to ARRL.org/30 days, it'll take you to the donation page. And you could put a note in there. You can say it's in honor of, it's in memory of. You can donate anonymously if you don't want your name shared. It's the last field down there. It says, does your company offer matching of any sort? So you might check with your company, because this is ARRL is a nonprofit. This is all tax deductible donations. So if your company has any sort of nonprofit or tax deductible matching, that if you send $100, they'll match your $100 or something like that, then hey, look into that as well. So we've all worked for some companies like that, I think, but it will. But that is the correct link that Jeff is sharing in the chat right now.
Jason, no, you didn't freeze. Okay. I think we froze a little bit. Hey, okay. Jason, so tell us about the kind of activities you've done thus far.
The first day I did Parks on the Air, because in my opinion, Parks on the Air is probably the greatest thing to happen to ham radio in the last 5 to 10 years. It's really, really reinvigorated HF radio, especially for those pesky old HOAs that people seem to buy houses in these days that didn't exist 20 years ago. So if you're in an HOA and you can't put up an antenna, go out to a park and people will actually want to talk to you. It's very fun. It's a very fun activity. If you've never done Parks on the Air, I'd like to welcome you to ham radio. I assume you just got your license, or you've been living under a rock for the last few years. But Parks on the Air was day one. I talked about my All-Star system yesterday, and just kind of about All-Star and how All-Star worked and how things were put together and how you could route stuff. There's a bunch of people on my All-Star server, and we've been talking back and forth for the last few days. I've had an All-Star server in the cloud for about 1.5 years now, and Kyle AA0Z and Freddie Mac KD5FMU were very big helps to me to get that up and running in the cloud server. And so we spend a lot of time on All-Star, especially on road trips. We'll get on All-Star. Tim gets on there with us. He's part of the All-Star system. And then today was about monitoring and using FM simplex, 146.52. In fact, I issued a challenge in my video today, and I said, basically, I was like, look, if you have a license, if you've had a license for more than a month or two, okay, and you have a mobile radio in your car, or maybe you're about to put one in your car, turn one side of that radio to 146.52 and monitor it all the time when you're in the vehicle around town, especially on road trips. If you're taking a 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 hour drive somewhere, have 146.52, and don't just sit there and monitor it, but throw your call sign out every town you get to, or every couple hours or something like that. We need to make 146.52 great again, to steal that term. But we just need to make it more active. We need to get on the band and use it a lot more than we have been. And it's a fantastic tool to keep in touch with people around you, and that we just don't utilize enough like we used to. So I kind of issued a challenge in my video today. And I myself went out and did an activation today, and I was on 146.52 calling out, just throwing out my call sign every half hour or so. So didn't get anybody, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll do it again tomorrow, because if we all did that, then it wouldn't take too long for us to get a lot more activity on FM simplex. So that's what today's video was about.
This past hamvention, we ran over to that new park that's right around the corner from the fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right as people started flooding out, and we did a POTA activation from the park on 14652.
The one that's just right there up the road, and it looks like a visitor center or something.
It's like an interpretive center for there. But so we just sat in the parking lot and activated that entity on 14652 as
that's a good idea.
And it was mostly people leaving the fairgrounds, for that day.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. It's a good idea.
And 99% of the people were happy with it. There was a couple cranky old birds that didn't like it, but
yeah,
so be it.
It's always going to be one in every crowd, but we activated Monsanto on 14652 a couple of times actually, and we did a FM simplex activation on 6 meters, 52.525. And I think we did one on 223.5. I think we did that too. So you get that many hams together, and it's just it's a waste of resources if you don't activate some of the off bands. But 146.52, man, that's where we all need to be. So we're all, and when we're, and if people say something, oh, this is the calling frequency. Okay, you want to have an hour-long conversation, move up to 146.58 or 145.52. There's a group of hams around the Galveston area that hang out on 145.52. So you can QSY if you want to have an hour or two long conversation, but there's nothing wrong with that. But hey, with the lack of activity that frequency has these days, I think we ought to just use it as much as
it's interesting. I don't see a problem. I mean, if you're going to have like a regularly established group of people talking on a simplex frequency, maybe 5.2 is not the frequency. But if you have a conversation because two people happen to cross paths and they talk for 15 minutes, so be it.
So be it. Yeah.
As long as they respect it, if somebody needs to jump in and use it, not a big deal.
Yeah, I've been monitoring 5.2 for a few weeks now, and there are a few people that will stay on there and have a conversation. I don't mind. I know it's a calling frequency, but they're using it. So it's great.
Right. And yeah, the way calling frequencies work is it's a meetup spot, so you can QSY to another frequency and have longer conversations. And I understand the theory and the thought process behind that, and I think that's great. But with the complete and total lack of usage these days, let's just get people back on the frequency. We can worry about segregating frequencies and having people QSY after we have that. That's a great problem to have that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
Okay. Once we have that problem again, then we can revisit and talk about it. For now, just key up the freaking radio on 146.52. That's my challenge anyway.
Here. Yep. Yeah, for sure.
I'm lucky enough. I live in a pretty big metropolitan area, Los Angeles, and I can drive into downtown LA, about 40 or so miles away. It could take an hour and a half. And along the route, you can hear, people fade in and fade out and having different conversations at the same time on 5.2. And then sometimes you hear people, calling out on hilltops and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm lucky enough. I live in a big area. I can almost jump on 5.2 any time of day or night and hear somebody. But then I'll go to like Vegas or San Diego or another close semi big city, and I don't hear anything. I don't hear squat.
Where are you at right now?
I live outside of LA in the city of Chino.
So I visited Josh out there back in 2019, and there was quite a bit of activity on 6.52 back then. That's when I was out there. I think that was the last time I was out there. But yeah, if you drive through the Phoenix, Arizona area, there's a group of active people on 6.52, and of course Huntsville, Alabama has a really good active group as well. So it is very regional dependent. That is very true. But that's what the group of us need to work on changing, I think.
On a side note, speaking of Huntsville, the APERS frequency is consistently busy around the clock. They have a large APRS community there, very large.
And if you have an APRS radio, the cool thing to do is to run it on set 146.52 as your QSY frequency, so that when you pass someone, you can call them out on the other side of the radio. So that's what my Yaesu FTM 500 sits in the truck, beaking an APRS on the bottom band and monitoring 146.52 on the top band. And that's pretty much where it is 95% of the time when I'm when I'm on a road trip, when I'm traveling.
I want to share my license plate here real quick. This is my level of commitment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. That is a cool license plate.
So yeah, that is my license plate, and
Pretty cool.
with the exception of switching over to the All-Star network, I'm on there. I have one on APRS and the other one's on 6.52, or I'm on the frequency that I've got set to my hotspot. So I suppose I can move my hotspot over to 146.52 also. And
every now and then I'll be driving along in an area, and someone had a simplex repeater on that frequency at Monsanto, but every now and then you'll hear some courtesy tones on 6.52. It was like, oh, somebody's got a simplex repeater or an all-star node or something like that, and again, with the lack of activity that everybody's Tortoise Overland is in the chat, and he made this comment on my video too. Let me find it again. He said, so he took a road trip, 1,000-mile road trip. Let's see if I can find his original message here. He said he took a 1,000-mile road trip and called out across 3 states, I think, something like that. And he didn't hear anybody at all. So, which, at least he's calling out. So hats off to him, because he is actually using it. But yeah, about every hour or so throughout my call on 5.2, always had it on when I travel. Was 18-hour round trip, not a peep on 5.2. He did work some local repeaters. So I wouldn't even have a problem with that, with us putting some all-star nodes on 6.52 until we get it active again. And then we should kind of like make a gentleman's agreement to say, okay, once it becomes really vital and active and used a lot, then okay, we should probably take those down and move those to another frequency. But I mean, yeah. I wouldn't have a huge problem with All-Star being on there right now either.
So Colin down in VK says down there, their 2-meter calling frequency is 1465. So, there might be some variation, but the sentiment stays the same. In everywhere. I'm sure if it's there's a calling frequency, give it a try. Call it out. Say,
what is
day,
it? Vince. Yeah. What is it in Canada, Vince?
146.52.
Is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got a question for. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got a question maybe for people in the chat and everybody in here. Have you ever seen somebody, driving down the road that has a ham radio antenna and you try to like signal them to 520 or anything?
Yes.
Try to have a conversation?
Yes.
I've had people ask me what it is, and I tell them, they're like, "What? I thought it's like a cell repeater or whatever." So I've never done that. I thought about that right now when you guys were talking.
I was passing somebody on the highway between Detroit and Buffalo in southern Ontario. I was on my way home from work, and I see a ham with a November 8 plate. I have my V3 plate on my car, and I passed him, and I just flashed 5.2, and sure enough, 30 seconds later, we had a chat for about half an hour. It was great fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
we need those stickers on the back of our vehicles that said either Kenwood or ARRL. They both have one that says monitoring 146.52. I need to put one on my truck. I don't have one right now, but
yeah. Well, 49 other states can get that same license plate, and then we can all meet together. There we go.
True. That's true. Yeah.
And I'm sure you could get a similar one up there in your province, Vince.
I like this. Whiskey Victor 3 Victor says. The sticker should read got.52 ?
Right. Oh, that's good. I like that.
I like it.
I might put that on a t-shirt. I'm going to steal it.
I'm going to make a prediction. Corky James is probably watching this, and there's probably a t-shirt getting made right now.
He probably would do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, do you even .52?
Yeah.
There's so many spins on that theme, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jason, so you're having fun. That's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
What have you got coming up without tipping too many cans over here? What do you got coming up that you're really looking forward to try?
Let's see. Okay. So so today, and this video will post in 3 or 4 days, I did my first lighthouse activation today.
Okay.
So that was kind of fun. There's a VHF contest later on this month. And just by happenstance, I got invited out to a superstation somewhere out here in Texas. Never been there before.
Neat.
Not sure what to expect, but a friend of mine had texted me like a few weeks ago, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing this thing this month. So he's like, yeah. And What else? No, be quiet. And so one guy had a guy that lives near me who I don't believe I might have met him before. I'd have to go back through my email and look for his call sign. But he had emailed me a month or so ago and said, "Hey, do you have an IC 905?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have one." He's like, "Would you want to do a video about one?" He goes, "I got one. You can come over and I'll show you how to do this, this, and this." And I'm like, "Can we do a QSO on it?" He goes, "Yeah, I got a friend with a setup and this kind of thing." And I'm like, and then I told him about this project I'm working on. So we're probably gonna do some microwave stuff on it. So
wicked cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. Never done that before. And Rob, Digital Rancher, he recently got his satellite system set up at his home, and we're gonna do some stuff with him as well. So those are
neat.
Three of the three of the things I'm more looking forward to. I mean, I think all of it's going to be fun, but some of them are going to be really fun.
You gonna try any of the moon bounce stuff?
I think there's some of that's going to be going on during the VHF contest. That's in a couple of weekends, I think. So yeah, I believe so. I've never done EME either, a rain scatter or meteor scatter. I've never done anything like that at all. So you got to have some pretty unique equipment to do stuff like that, and I haven't ever bothered to toy with anything like that. So, but yeah, we're probably gonna try that as well.
Microwave is pretty cool. I was coming back from shooting a video in Ontario with Mike into MAK. It was a cross-border activation video.
I remember that.
And Mike's first CW contact with like anybody. That was funny. And I'm making my way back to the place where we're staying, my sister-in-law's house, coming along the top of the Niagara Escarpment just outside of Hamilton, Ontario. And there's a guy sitting there with 3 dishes on a great big huge tripod. And so I pull over naturally because I see his ham license plates.
Oh yeah.
At first he's like, "Who's this crazy ass guy pulling over with a cloud of dust?" And then he sees my ICOM POTA crew shirt and he starts laughing. Well, we get talking and it turns out he's one of the more prominent in the Canadian microwave scene. And he was in the middle of doing a 78 gigahertz distance shot. So ICOM 705 is the exciter and a 78 gig transmitter into a 2 watts into a 48 decibel gain dish.
Wow.
Do the math on 48 decibels and 2 watts, and you come out with an ERP of 156,000 and something.
Ouch! Wow.
He made the distance record a week later. The weather just wasn't quite favorable enough that day that I saw him. Peter's a pretty interesting cat to talk to, needless to say. So you can do some pretty cool stuff on microwave.
What was his call sign again?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
You can cook some food with that kind of wattage there.
Oh, you can totally cook some food. Tim, I'll be able to look it up.
Okay, yeah.
I wrote about it and posted on QRP, so I'll go find it there.
Okay.
You start talking about quirky QRP and James shows up in the chat finally.
I'm telling you, he's probably already got the mock-up right now.
I attended a microwave update conference that was here in Dallas like 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And some of the stuff those guys were talking about, I'm like, you can do that? I mean, it was wild. Like, yeah, they would do like FT8 over like 25 or 45 gigahertz, and they do CW. And one guy was actually trying some voice FM, and one guy was doing. I forget what transmission type he was using, maybe CW, but he was doing it over light waves, it was like a nanometer band, and he was using laser light.
Was he using light photovoltaic?
Yeah. Some kind of light wave. And I'm like, all right. I was like,
I've had interest in that.
I don't think I've ever had that much time on my hands, but
I saw some guys, some engineers wrote some papers back in the 70s about doing photovoltaic transmissions. And I mean, they had freezer sized equipment that they were using. So I'm glad to see that somebody's doing it now with the miniaturization.
Yep. Should be fun. So, but yeah, those are a few of the things I'm looking forward to. There's a lot more stuff in there, but those are.
we don't want to give away the farm here. I mean, we want to keep some of the
No.
suspense, right? So,
Right.
and these are coming out on your channels.
Yes.
All of these,
Yep.
right
All
on.
All of his
That's
channels.
well, yeah, all of his channels. That's what I mean. Well, all the attempts to.
All the
And
videos, all of his channel. All the
Yeah,
time.
I've got a playlist if you guys want to share that. If you
Oh
can
yeah, we can do that
do that.
Yeah, let me go grab that.
for sure.
I'll put it in this private chat here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got it right here.
And then you said you're kind of editing and doing the production for these kind of all on a as it happens sort of basis or on demand or how much time has that taken you? Never mind the activity itself, but kind of behind the scenes. What's that production time take you
Well,
daily?
I hired. I think I've mentioned in my videos before. I hired an editor a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So I've got it, and I checked with him. I was like, "Hey, man, here's an idea I've got. Let me know if this is too crazy. If you're going to have time to do this." And he was agreeable to it. He goes, "No, we can make that happen." But what I do is I take all the files that I have and I number them in order. I'm like, okay, use A roll here, here, and here. Use B roll this,
Right.
this, add music here. So I'm giving him pretty detailed instructions so that he can get through it pretty quick and not take too long. And that takes some time. I keep running out of freaking hard drive space because
I can't imagine why.
for some idiotic reason, when I built this is my streaming desktop that I brought to Galveston with me. I was sick of trying to work with the poor internet down here and my laptop, which is not as powerful as my desktop. So I packed up the whole streaming desktop that sits in my ham shack that I stream from every Sunday, and I brought it with me, and that's what I'm using. And it's fine. But for some who knows why reason, when I built this computer like 3 years ago, I put a 500 gigabyte hard drive in it because I'm an idiot. So it should have a 2 to 3 terabyte hard. My editing computer, what used to be my editing computer, my computer at home that does all my QuickBooks and all that kind of good stuff, it's got a 4 terabyte hard drive in it, and I've never filled that up. But this, for whatever reason, I cheesed out on this this streaming computer. So I keep running out of hard drive space, having to move stuff around here and there. So that takes time to do all that too. But yeah, the editing is not being done by me, but I am doing a pretty detailed job of kind of laying out the plan so that he knows exactly what I want. So
Yeah.
that takes some time.
Yeah. But you're effectively outsourcing the grunt work, but you've still got all the creative on your side, so that frees up your time to do the activities. I mean, I don't know how many people realize this, but when I'm doing my editing, I'll go through my piece 7 or 8 times end to end, right? And so that 15-minute video takes me 2 hours to edit on a good day. That 1 hour video I just released, I probably went through it only 5 times. And some of it I just went through at accelerated speed because I wanted it to be a lifetime video, so it didn't need heavy editing. Yeah, there's quite a commitment there, so that's cool.
Yep, there is. That's true.
Right
Vince IRL.
Yes, Vince IRL. His first IRL video just dropped, and that's the one where on my bike I crossed over the Continental Divide and into another province, and did an activation in backcountry on my new to me mountain bike. So, and since then I've sprained my knee, so I won't be biking anywhere. So I've got a list of videos here that I better get to that I can do here around the shack.
So
production
out of
up, but anyway.
curiosity, speaking of the 30 videos, so we're all content creators here, so we know the process of going through this, but have you written 30 days worth of video ideas, or
Yes.
was it, or here's some topics and they'll spawn other videos for this? Because that's quite a bit. I mean, I look at that and I'm like, I'm lucky to get a video out every couple of weeks now.
I've been planning this for about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, something like that. I don't remember exactly. So the first thing I did was I just jotted down a bunch. I just brain dumped a bunch of ideas, and then I went back and I said, okay, this is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. But I picked out the ones I wanted to do. And then I made a list of 1 to 30 and said, okay, on day 1, I'm going to do this. And day 2, I'm going to do this. And I've changed that. It's actually on a spreadsheet now, so I can change it up if I want to. And I've changed it up a few times. A good example is this weekend, there's a ham fest in Arkansas that Mina Ham Fest in Arkansas, if anybody's ever been to that. I've never been to that. Been telling myself for years I wanted to go to that. Richard at Main Trading Company sent an email on like Monday or Tuesday of this week and said, hey, I'm going to Mina and here's what we're going to do. And I texted him, I'm like, what's the weather supposed to do? He's like, man, just go. Just don't even worry about it. Just go. I'm like, okay. So I kind of pivoted what I was going to do this weekend and pushed it off till next week. I was like, I'm going to go to a ham fest. Because going to a ham fest was not in my original plan because I didn't think there was. I completely forgot that this ham fest was during the month of September. So because we don't have one in Texas during that month, and none of the big ones of that month, obviously. But so I'm going to drive out there on Friday and kind of check that out and maybe do some interviews with people out there. But so I've kind of got it. I've got a list of everything I could do, and it's a little fluid because I kind of pivot here and there for stuff that I do. And like, I don't have a date set yet for Robert to do the satellite thing, but I talked to him like a month ago and he's like, oh yeah, let's do that. Let me know. He's totally on board. We don't have a date set up yet. We got to make sure that it's not freaking raining and something like that. And to cloud cover or something like that. So it's, get some good satellite passes going on.
Does Rob let the rain bother him? I mean, stop him doing satellite. I mean, that's the guy that walks out in the middle of a bar with a satellite.
True. On. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
In one hand and an arrow in the other.
Yep. I don't know. The setup he has at home, I kind of doubt it, but I don't know. This is a question I'd have to ask him. Hurricane Lorena due this weekend. Well, I don't know that, I was reading about that the other day and it's not for sure, but I don't think it's going to come up here, but who knows? Tell it to turn east and go bug Matt 84MQ instead of us. I don't know, something like that.
We have a thing here in Indiana about the weather. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
I'm pretty sure it's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Indeed.
So our friend Jody, keeper of the hammies, says 30 ham activities a month might win an award for the most prolific content creator.
We'll see.
Sounds like the fix is in there, Jody. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
So Jason, asking the real questions now. So now that I've got content out on a bicycle and Ham Herder has got content out on a bicycle, are you doing any of these on bicycle?
That's probably, I've had an e-bike for like 2 years and I've been telling myself for that long that I'm going to go do bicycle mobile. What I really want to do is not necessarily bicycle mobile, but I want to find a park, probably like a national forest. Because most of the state parks around me are not big enough to ride a bike through. I mean, you could ride a bike through it and be through it in like 10 minutes. So you can't get, and that one that Mike did was really good because Huntsville State Park kind of goes deep into the woods there, or maybe he was at the National Forest. I don't remember. And, but he's got a good area around there, to go. And I don't really have anything like that near me. So I've been wanting to do that for a couple of years, probably not during this series, but on the greater scale. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. Julian, OHASTN, he has a couple of really good videos about how he solar charged his e-bike with an up converter from Jenison. Jenison has an up converter that'll take like a 160 watt, I think it is, panel and up convert it from like 18 or 20 volts that the panel normally does. And instead of converting it down to 13.8, it up converts it to like 52 volts. I'm giving this a high level description. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
But he said one time on one of his videos, he's like, I haven't plugged my bike in like a year and a half. He's like, I've been solar charging it. And I'm like, that's what I need to do. So
that's neat.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool thing. So yeah, I want to do something like that for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Jody, I expect a meme, my friend.
on
First
the
photo
Ocho.
activation on a pontoon bike, on a pond, or pontoon bike on a pond. Extreme photo activation, a new show on ESPN 8, the Ocho. All right, Cotton. All right, Cotton. That seems kind of ballsy, but let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh boy, it's always good. Always good.
Well, that's pretty neat. And so you're 3 or 4 days in. You're 7 days in now, but 3 videos released.
Right.
Because you got some to do.
Mhm.
And so your final video drops what, September 30th, end of the month?
Yeah, I'm calling it 30 days, and I just kind of fit it into September just because it fits nicely, because September has 30 days. But during the videos, I don't say, okay, today is September 7th. I just say this is day 7.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more universal so that someone watching it 6 months from now might still get, hopefully, fingers crossed, still get value out of it. And they're like, oh,
Sure.
this is dated. Well, kind of dated, but not really. So kind of want to make it a little bit more universal fit than that. But yes, to answer your question, yeah, September 1 through September 30th is when the videos will all be posted. And then probably for the first week of October, I'm just going to sleep for like 6 days. So,
well, with 30 thoughts of, and we always say ham radio is a hobby of 1,000 hobbies.
right.
You still have 970 more.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Well, and I've already got like 2 or 3 new ideas to do similar to this one. If this works out, if it works out the way I'm hoping it does, then yeah. I told in my first video, I said my goal is to, well, I don't have really a number to hit, but I said for every new subscriber I get on my channel during this time, I'm going to donate a dime to ARRL, to the Teachers Institute myself. So just as an example, if I get 10,000 new subscribers in a month, which I've never done before, even with the size of my channel, I've never got that many in 1 month before. That's $1,000 that I'll donate to Teachers Institute. Plus, and the more important thing really is my goal is to try to hit 10,000 views per video. If you have 30 videos at 10,000 views, I'll do $100 per video. That's another $3,000 that I myself will donate if those numbers are hit. So I kind of think a few of the videos will hit and some of them won't. And we'll probably end up at maybe a couple 3,000 subs or 4,000, maybe 4. I don't know, a few thousand subs, but we probably won't get to 10. Be nice if I could. And then, channel's at 191 now. So if once it hits 200, whenever that might be, we're going to have to do another giveaway of an HF radio. So benefits the audience out there for that.
I heard that was state law.
It is state law. Yeah.
State law down in Texas. Yeah.
But yeah, so depending on the numbers of subscribers and views every video gets. So that's why I'm telling people, I was like, send the links to the playlist or to the videos, to your clubs, to other people, watch it yourself, watch it a couple times, get that view count up so that we can get, because the way that the YouTube algorithm works is that if YouTube sees, and it's a little bit selfish, I'll admit that, but at the same time, if YouTube sees a lot of people watching a video or a series of videos on your channel, then it's going to spit those videos in that channel out to more and more people of like-minded, clickers who might be interested in that. And it's going to get the word of ham radio out. Yeah, it'll get the word of my channel out to more people also.
Like-minded clickers. I haven't heard that.
Like-minded clickers, somebody who would click on a ham radio video. But it would, it's going to get the word of ham radio out to more people, and the word of the Teachers Institute out to more people, put it in front of more people that way too. So it's kind of working, kind of gaming the system a little bit, but that's all right. That's the way it's built.
Right on. Very cool.
Mm.
Tim, you had a question, I think.
Oh, I forgot by now.
Oh.
I'm in that advanced stage. I'm over 50. I'm in the moment, and I don't know. I should have. I should have.
All right. Well, Jason, I want to be the one to say, man, like, first off, thanks for the commitment. Thanks for the dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thanks for thinking of others. And I'll be the first to say it here among the group. And you always do think of others. You're one of our biggest promoters, those of us with tiny YouTube channels, and we greatly appreciate that as always. So
Absolutely.
that's very cool what you're doing, man.
Happy to do it. Yeah.
real quick, Colin in the BK says Greg will buy a Flex if he gets 10,000 subs.
I know that's not going to happen, so I don't have to worry. I'm good. I don't have to worry about it.
Hey,
Yeah.
y'all make it
But if
happen.
it does happen, maybe I will.
Is that an AU 520 Flex we're talking here, or Flex 1500?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'll take it. It's
Yeah,
weird
so-
how the algorithm, like some months, like I'll get a lot of views after I do a live stream, and then like this month, like something got shut off. It's so strange.
Summertime.
You
Could
think
be.
so? Like around Christmas, it seems to be busier for some reason.
Oh yeah.
I-
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if people are inside watching more, or it's just I've been trying to catch it, and I don't understand. As soon as I think I understand it, it changes.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I can see that. It's a fickle thing, the YouTube algorithm. I mean, there's no question.
Yeah. I think
Definitely
they keep it in
thing.
flux on purpose.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Otherwise, the guys at vidIQ and TubeBuddy wouldn't have something to make new videos.
It's true also.
Right.
That is true also.
Yeah. And if you click on just one of their emails, it's amazing how many more you get.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Just post a Tesla video, Nate says. Oh, that's interesting.
that seems to work. I think one of my highest watched videos, it was like 160,000 videos, was me showing me my 5100 setup in my my Tesla. I'm like 4 days later, I look down, I had like 50,000 views. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I've never seen that before.
Mm.
Like it's caught on. I think someone posted on X or something. I don't know, but it said a lot
So
of
my-
external use.
On my overlanding channel, I posted a video of how I mounted the FTM 400 in the back of the Bronco, and I got quite a good viewing on that too. But I think a lot of that just happened to be that because the Bronco was brand new. You know, at the time I got it, I was only a handful of people making videos about it that actually had one in their hands, and I think that was just people were interested on how to mount stuff in there when they got it. So got their hands on it finally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well,
Oh
Tim,
yeah, I see that 371,000. That's pretty. What? No, wait a minute. I was looking at the wrong one. I'm sorry. I was like, whoa.
I don't have any of these wild ass successes. I mean, I dropped a little short the other day, and it picked up 500 views, and 500 views is better than any of my almost every one of my other videos. So it's just you take the wins where you get them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's just that way. Well, so Tim, who do you think's got some show and tell for us tonight, or ham and tell, I should say?
I bet you do, Vince.
You bet I do.
I bet you do.
Okay. Well, you got me.
Do I need
So-
to unbig
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
All right.
So I am going to show off these. I just picked these up off AliExpress, and you can see the ruler there because I don't have a banana. These are UHF radios, and they're good for 400 to 520, and they're allegedly somewhere between, because the specs are written in the finest translated Chinese. They're either between 0.3 and 2 watts. They have a 1.1 amp hour, 3.7 volt battery in them built in, so you charge them by USB. And they hold 128 channels, and they're just the tiniest little things. They come with a little in-ear type arrangement for a speaker mic, but there's a speaker mic built into them. And I bought these because I wanted to. I'm blatantly ripping off now what N6ARA did. And ARA built, he drafted up in his 3D modeling software a plastic payphone, and he embedded a little radio like this, the what's it called, the little APRS radio from Germany.
Pico
into
APRS.
The Pico APRS, he embedded it into it. So I thought, oh, this will be cool. I can build up a little tiny plastic payphone thing and drop one of these radios into it. So these just arrived the other day. I'm still struggling with the software for it, but that's the joy of the finest instructions translated from another language to the language I read. But they're absolutely freaking tiny. You know, that's just it. And these are called the Tango Mike 2 Deltas. If you go looking on AliExpress for them, nice little clip on the back. I haven't even pulled the plastic off yet. That's how new they are. So
Could we do that here?
Yeah, go for it.
Can we crank up your
Okay.
mic? And
Wait a minute though.
So
There's a condition.
well,
We need somebody to go and make a donation on Jason's page
yes.
and tell us they've done that in the chat. And then I will peel the plastic off. I will peel off both plastics for $50 of donation, and I will peel off one plastic for $30 of donation. So you've got some time.
The links are in the chat. I'm posting them again.
Links are in the chat.
Wow.
There we go. I can't
You have
see
any
this
music
real
for this?
time. I can't see this real time.
We're just going to have to trust that people are going to do this. But I can get a microphone, and I can get Mr. Boom camera here, nice and tight up in on it, and we can do this.
Little
We
ham
can
radio
do this. We have
ASMR.
technology.
There we go.
Little ASMR.
That's right. Hey,
So Quirky
you didn't know what
QRP
you
said
were
he
getting
had
yourself into
these.
tonight, did you?
No, I didn't know I was going to peel the plastic off tonight, but whatever.
Yeah.
Quirky,
Well, you know,
Quirky says he had a couple of them, so that's interesting.
last week, Vince took one for the team and tore his antenna apart.
For Meshtastic.
He did. He took the 915 megahertz bent arm. I don't know what's the exact word for that, but
It was a coaxial sleeve dipole.
right. The antenna itself is a coaxial sleeve dipole. But,
Yeah.
I'm talking an antenna like this where it.
The bent arm.
I don't know the specific term for this setup other than a 90-degree antenna, but we validated that your standing wave is going to shoot through the roof when you're in that 90-degree bend there. That curvature. It's got flexible coax in there, but it doesn't like it.
We took it all apart. So Tortoise Overland wants to know how much. So for $30, I tear off one plastic, and for $50, I tear off two. And this can be a combined donation from a bunch of people. So if you make a donation on your honor, you type it in the chat, and I'm going to add it up. And when we hit those targets, we'll do some ASMR and plastic removal. All right. That's my contribution to the ARRL Teachers Fund tonight. Let's get that going.
They didn't know what they were getting themselves into tonight either, did they?
No, they did not know. They did not know this was going to cost them some cold hard cash. But
they're going to probably get complaints tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. The plastic stays on for as long as possible. Great for resale value. Apparently, you didn't catch the part about these things are cheap as chips off of AliExpress. There is no resale value. These were. These I see them as low as $22 a piece on AliExpress. I'll see if I can't find the link. US $100 done. Lee NA5T.
Thank you, Lee. He's in the
Lee.
He's in the chat all the time.
Okay, so here we go.
Vince, I'm sorry I missed it. Are those transceivers or Meshtastic?
Yes.
What are those?
These are UHF transceivers.
UHF. Okay.
Yeah, UHF transceivers. So, okay.
Before you do this, while you're setting up, I'm going to share once again. Meme Master Jody has done it here. Let me. Where to go?
Oh, he just sent me that too. That's awesome. Oh, you should so get on 14.300 if you set up that.
I think someone mentioned that if you're doing something on the lake there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Activate on 14.300.
All right.
It's good stuff right there.
That is.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get the shot set up here so you guys can see this happening live.
That's right. Let's get the money shot going on here.
I just got to find my mixer because my mixer is now off in another monitor here.
This will be very satisfying.
I'm going to turn the audio up. So my audio should be, I don't know, 10 dB louder,
It's better. It's louder than it was.
20 dB louder now. Okay. Well,
Here,
gentlemen,
I can bring you
here,
up.
so
You're
Lee and
over now.
A5T, thank you so much for your very generous donation.
Vince, stop. You're clipping.
Yeah, you're
Bring your
overdriven
audio
now.
down. Yeah.
I'm clipping. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
not clipping now.
Yeah.
That's better. That's
I'm
better.
down 10 dB now. Okay. So
And I can bring you up in the stream.
Okay. Oops.
All right, guys.
Here.
Everybody be quiet.
Okay, here we go. Are we ready?
Yep.
Oh, it's out of focus.
Oh God.
Get into focus. There we go. Here we go.
It's better.
Here we go. Oh.
All right.
There's one.
I heard everybody collectively sigh after that.
Yeah, right.
Here we go. Smoke them if you got them. Here we go. All right. And there's the proof. They have been removed.
Wow.
I've had people.
Lee, that's for you. Thanks, man.
I've had people. Yeah, thank you. I've had people comment on videos saying if you leave the plastic on too long, it ruins the screen.
I can tell you that's crap as a reseller. I can tell you that.
Okay, yeah.
I
was like, they're like, you're leaving the plastic on, it's going to ruin the screen. I'm like, well,
So
okay.
I could see that if it was like powered on and running and it was generating some heat, that maybe there's some, but turned off. I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know.
There we are.
Well, that's a first for the Ham Radio Kids table.
Never done that before, huh?
No.
There we are. So that's my one of my show and tells. I mean I got others here. I got one other.
Do
a
show.
little bit of 3D modeling. So as I'm going off into backcountry, now it's frigging around with me here. So I go off into backcountry. There's several essentials that a guy wants to carry. 10 essentials, as a matter of fact, for survival. And one of them is bear spray to, in case the bear smells bad, you want to spray it so it smells nicer. But the other is a little tiny air horn. And for those of you who've never heard one of these, my dog's in the other room, so he's going to jump when this goes up. But this is like a marine air horn. And so this is a recommended anti-bear measure in these parts. And I figured I didn't have a way to carry it with my gear in a safe way. So I went and did some modeling and built this up. And what do I use for modeling software? I use something really, really simple. And I'm going to show you that screen. Just let me set that up over here. Grab Tinkercad and bring it over to this window. And then here's the share button. And I want to share a window called Tinkercad. And so there's my Tinkercad desktop. And Tinkercad is free from Autodesk. And so you can see it here. Here's my design, and you can see the pieces I put together for it. And so I'm a real newbie at 3D modeling, by the way. I've been doing this for maybe 2 or 3 months, but it's like drafting from high school, which was cough decades ago. But I figured it was a trivial enough thing to grab a cylinder and drop it onto the work plate, and then grab a hole and drop it onto the work plate, and you overlay the two and you merge them together, and if when you center them, you'll end up creating an opening. And so the first one I made, it needed a gusset because this part broke pretty easily, and the second one, this part broke right where the carabiner clips through it. So I just reprinted this one anyway, just yesterday. And so the air horn drops into it and slides in. And then from there, I just, clip a beaner on it. And away we go. And now that'll, hang off of my bear spray so the two of them are together. Something nice and simple. And that's ham adjacent, right? Having your outdoor gear so that you can go off and do a soda or a POTA and be safe, especially if you're in bear country.
Have
We've got a
you
bumper crop of berries right now too, so there's lots of bears around.
have you done any holster retrieval of it? Practice it?
I have not. I also have not seen any bear scat where I've been, and I've been when I was down at Waterton Lakes National Park, just north of Montana. There was a bear in the immediate area. I saw no signs of them. And there was bears out last weekend where I was, and I didn't see any signs of them, so that's good. But my bear spray sits in a holder right below the seat on my bike, so I can reach under my wide padded tuchus and get to my bear spray and get to the air horn at the same time. But usually I'm kicking it up into high gear and getting the hell out of Dodge if I see that anyway, right? That's my
Yeah.
first plan.
I think I'd
Good.
get you an air horn on your bike that you can easily.
You mount it on there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I already have a Montana 700, Montana 700 GPS on the dash, on the handlebars of the bike, so that I don't have to reach for my phone to see where I am. Right, my phone is always there on my hip, but I have enough stuff on the handlebars that looks, like a small cockpit already.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Where's
it's-
your
it's
HF
neat.
radio mounted? Do you have an HF radio mounted on there?
My HF radio is mounted in my backpack.
Okay.
There is no 102-inch whip mounted on the bike. There are two POTA 20 Explorer masts that travel with me, and adequate mast support so that I can set up. But no, there's no radios mounted. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you using the 857 in a man pack then, or?
I'm using a KX3.
Okay.
And I don't have a man pack for it. I have, pannier bags on my bike so that I can carry water and the bear spray and a first aid kit, sadly, which I needed last Sunday. And, because I managed to gouge my knee out a little bit. Oops. And all of that stuff sits in panniers, and my radio gear with my survival gear sits in my backpack. So my camera gear can sit. My Osmo and my Nikon DSLR can sit in one of the panniers, nicely protected. So it's a convenient way for me to carry all my gear to go off and do a POTA or a soda in the back and beyond. Because you guys are used to me driving up and pulling up in the truck or doing a tailgate or maybe a picnic table.
Yeah.
And now I've absolutely fallen in love with going on trail to do this. I can't wait to get my knee fixed up to go doing more of them. I really can't wait. So
It's encouraging that you like that so much, because that makes me want to do it a little bit more now too. So
Jason, I was an off-roader decades ago. I had done up my Geo tracker. For those of you who remember those, I put some TJ spring kits and lift stuff in it, and I had a removable front and rear winch on it. So I had done it up with a small snorkel and whatever. And then I got a quad. And then my business was not doing well that I was running at the time. So I sold the quad and I stopped off-roading. I really miss it. But I love those kinds of trails. I'm not the kind of cyclist to go down these crazy inclines like you see on the Red Bull commercials and go flying 178 feet through the air and hopefully land. I'm like, hey, you do you, man. But
right.
my life has a best before date, and I'm not looking to accelerate that in any way, shape, or form. So I've been trying to find overlanding trails that I can run on with the bike, because I'm really comfortable there. And usually they're nice and broad, and frankly, they're simple. There's no tree roots across them or big holes. I just have to dodge, horse crap and cow crap, because it's free range usually where I go riding. So yeah, it's great. It is great fun.
Do you have a lot of logging roads or mining roads in your area?
Yeah, there's lots of logging roads, and they'll go 30, 40, 50 kilometers into the back and beyond. So, and those are easy enough to identify. I mean, they're all behind locked gates. but you can walk around the gates with your bike and go. They're easy enough to identify. They may not be marked on a trail map. They might be marked on a back road map, but they're certainly available on satellite imagery.
So when they're fenced off, is that well? First of all, are they on public land or private
Yeah.
land?
Yeah, I would never go on private land without permission. So these are all public land roads.
Okay.
They're fenced off because there's oil and gas or harvesting, logging operations, either active or dormant in that area. So the roads were built by those companies, but they're on public lands. So
I'm assuming then the gates are really there to keep auto traffic off the roads.
that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
and not
for
necessarily
sure.
people going back there. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, indeed. I think Izzo needs to get an e-mountain bike and do what I've been doing. What do you say to that, Don? Don's just trying to send the live stream. And James says, yeah, the best trails are the ones not on the maps. Yeah, that's for sure. I'm new at this. I guess I'm old enough to know not to be stupid and go off in the back of beyond to without a plan and without a recovery plan and without 10 essentials and a satellite spotter and all the rest. But I certainly want to go on trails that are published. I leave a hard copy of the plan I published on the front seat of my truck. Hi, Vince Dion, 60 whatever year old male. This is my cell number. This is my Zolio number. This is my emergency contact number. Here's the departure time. Here's the time I'm coming back. And on this side is a picture of the route I'm taking and the destination I'm going to. So it's,
here's my call sign if you want to work me.
yeah, here's my call sign and I'm listening on 5-2.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Don says he's doing his research there. I don't know what that means, but he's doing his research on something.
Doing his research. All right. Don, you've got my number. We could talk. There you go. We haven't talked for a while, as a matter of fact, so we should do that.
And Don said for a second there he thought you were Evel Knievel.
Yes, I know. Evel Knievel or Jody, help me out. Dave, what was his name?
Dave.
Super Dave Osborne. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Now that wasn't that like that was a
1980s.
Late 1980s, I think.
Oh yeah. I think it was on HBO, but it wasn't that. That was like a rib, right? It was a spoof.
Yeah, it's totally a spoof. Yeah, Super Dave Osborne for sure. Oh, I like it. A contact is a contact, even if it's search and rescue.
There you go.
Isn't
Guys,
that the truth?
Can you make sure you put me in your log when you
Yeah. And yes, Jody, I am LAD channel ready. I carry 2 radios with me in addition to my HF. I carry my D75 because it has APRS. Even though Ham Harder thinks APRS isn't useful, I disagree. And I carry my VX7. My VX7 has been widebanded, so I can get onto any frequency I need to with it, and spare batteries, of course.
Pepe also says that Tinkercad makes a very good impression at first glance, easy to use. Thank you for the recommendation, Vince. I will give it a try. Yeah,
Pepe, glad you're joining us this morning from Switzerland. We're glad to have you here. Tinkercad is relatively easy to use, and you can do some circuit sim with it too. I haven't tried it yet. I really should do that. So when Robbie was on Whiskey One RCP, and he's a teacher, he's a Votech teacher. He was showing us some of that with the circuit design and everything. With I think it'll emulate an Arduino and allow you to design the circuits and test them, which is cool. Yeah, I should try that. Dave says I'm stable and good on the Z. Well, that's your report to search and rescue. Yeah, exactly. Well, good to know he's stable anyway. No, he's talking about you. Oh, got it. Yeah, you're for search and rescue. So you can get your contact. You can report that you're stable and that you're good on the Z. Yeah. Yeah, even SAR is a contact for sure. I mean, one of the contacts, I was out a month ago, and I don't know, it was early August, the first one of these that I did, and it took 2.25 friggin' hours to get my 10. And every one of us here on this channel, we're used to the YouTube effect. People have us in our ham alerts, and we're very grateful for that too, by the way. I'm real used to getting my 10 in about 15 or 20 minutes. And I'm a very impatient person in real life. Like, I've got all kinds of patience, but I just don't want to wait for it. It took 2.25 friggin' hours that day. And so I'm tuning through sideband, and I hear, oh, we're taking early check-ins for the Elecraft net. I'm on an Elecraft radio. It's a contact.
There you go.
Any contact is a contact, right?
Yep.
So there you go. You can be an old overweight guy like me, and you can still go do POTA in backcountry. You just have to, be prepared.
I never experienced the YouTube effect on for POTA until last year at Huntsville, when I sat down with Mike K at MRD, and him and I did a POTA from his campsite early in the week before everybody started showing up. And I think I logged 100 and some contacts in, I don't know, a couple of hours or whatever it was. And that was him and I passing the mic. So that was definite. I do get a fair amount of contacts now, which is nice, when you're not having to call CQ for forever and a day.
Yeah.
But I think I would say this. I think a lot of that just comes from being active. There's a group of hunters that are there at the time I go out almost every night. That's their nightly routine. They're usually between 7 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern. They're POTA hunting. And I think that just as much as they are there hunting, I'm there activating. James PZN is there almost every night at that same time. And so they're looking for a group of activators, and we're just looking for a group of hunters that are there. And I think that's that symbiotic relationship that we have in these. And Nate says one of these days he's got to get me on 40. So.
Oh, and there's plenty of tutorials on Tinkercad. Back to that for a second. Yeah, thanks for that, George. Plenty of tutorials on the tubes. Yeah, for sure. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been talking for a bit with who's got stuff on the workbench. I mean, ham and tell. Sorry, a bit of a crossover there. Who else has got some ham and tell stuff?
I haven't got anything new yet.
So I did the video on apparently the WIO. The WIO tracker. The WIO. It's I called it the WOA, but it's the WIO apparently.
You have to embiggenate yourself.
I am. So
Meshtastic?
This is Meshtastic.
Okay.
And this is the Dave had this with him at Huntsville. And
Seed Studio.
I got this. Yeah, it's Seed Studio. This is not the factory case that comes with it. This is a Alicat case. But I've been playing with this, and I got the newest version of Meshtastic firmware on there, which is kind of nice. Now this incorporates a joystick into it, which allows you to type out and select. So it's going one step further and taking that phone device out of it, that compute device, to interface with it, which I thought is it kind of neat, and it's limited in that nature, but we owe, David says, the mesh dealer has corrected me. We owe. And you know what? So I felt so bad because I consulted about 27 different Chinese vocabulary sites on how to pronounce that word.
They're all wrong. They're all wrong. They don't know how to pronounce their own language.
Well, I've come to the conclusion that
the Chinese person, a Chinese person does, but not the websites.
Oh, no. These were videos of what looked to be native Chinese speakers, Mandarin speakers, and I'm like, well, they're all saying this, but I guess I've come to the conclusion that like here, you can spell a word a certain way, but depending on where you're at in the country, maybe it's pronounced a little bit differently.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I did watch a video with her name is Zero. She's one of the Seed Studio YouTube personalities, and she pronounced it Wio also. So I stand corrected, and I won't fix the video, but I will fix my further pronunciations of the word.
I met some of the folks from Baofeng at IWCE several years ago, and if you think about the pronunciation of an English word by a Chinese person, they were laughing at me, and it was funny. I was laughing at me too, and they were saying that the way you pronounce Baofeng is Baofeng, and I swear I said it exactly like them, and they're like, no, that's not right. It sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's just it's the way that your brain interprets sounds. They're used to their language and it sounds a certain way. We're used to our language and it sounds a certain way. So you have someone else pronouncing it. So I was able to experience what I hear from them all the time when they try to pronounce frog legs or something. So
it is most definitely if you, as a native speaker of any particular language, you're everything, how you hold your mouth, breathe, your tongue, the whole 9 yards is all revolves around that particular language. And so when you go to speak another language that does not pronounce syllables the same way, sounds and everything, it can be a challenge. My brother is an interpreter, and he speaks 5 or 6 languages fluently. So, and it's interesting to watch him as he was learning languages and going through college and everything to be able to shift on the fly. And that is a very neat. Sometimes I know people are in awe of us when we talk technical terms or whatever. We've got this whole vocabulary of stuff, but then watch somebody be able to not switch, but through one language or 2 languages, but speak to 4 or 5 different people and just basically pivot and completely change his persona and dialect, which is kind of interesting. So
yeah, it's hard. Remember, you have to memorize everything and then repeat it, word for word. Yeah, that's just, I can't even do that with the English language.
I know.
So that is a battle sometimes that we fight learning CW. Every person that I've spoken to that says that's really good at it, you can't count the dits and das. You have to listen to the sounds. You have to listen to think about his language. You're putting letters and words together, just like we do in English. You're just doing it with dits and das. They make sounds, and you have to just push it all together.
Yep, that's a true statement.
Yep.
I think I will drop, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. It was a good show. Thank you for the donations. I know that several of people in the chat were talking about donations, and I'll find out tomorrow morning exactly how much that was, and I'll let you guys know.
All right. Well, Jason, I appreciate it, guys. If you haven't done so already, if you don't already, make sure you follow Jason and click on that playlist and let it run through every day. Even if you're not watching it, let that playlist run through every day, because that in itself is helping the Teachers Institute. So
it does. Yes, very true.
Jason, thanks for everything you're doing for ham radio and your very generous spirit with raising money for these guys, and frankly, your support of all of us here on the tube.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all's time tonight.
All righty. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Catch you soon.
All right.
All right, so we got to keep an eye on that 30 Days of Ham Radio project and the playlist that Jeff has posted in the chat. That's great.
I donated, so everyone should donate.
Well, if Jeff donated, and Jeff's a pretty cranky guy.
I'm cranky. I'm a cranky MFer. You got
That's right. Separating him from his money.
What was that creaking noise I heard? Was that your wallet opening?
Did you see a little cloud of dust poof up there?
I donated double the amount that I donated last year when Josh did it, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put in some money right around the time of Huntsville Ham Fest usually because I can't make it down there in person, although I'd love to.
Well, and I want to throw this out. We didn't talk about it with Jason. The form that this is being sent to is it's what's called a directed donation. So it doesn't go into the ARRL general fund. It goes specifically to the Teachers Institute, which is specifically used for Steve Goodgame's budget and getting teachers through their program. And so that's one thing. I know there's people out there and love them or hate them. I mean, everybody falls down on the different sides with the ARRL. But I will say this: what Steve Good Game is doing, what the teachers are doing, is not only good for the hobby, but it's also good for helping these next generations. It's kids like I mentioned earlier, like me. Now they're better at identifying these kids and teaching to what they need now, but it's getting the teachers in there that are going to find the things that are going to interest the kids. If you need any examples, go back to the live stream that we did last fall with Josh and some of the administrators who have been involved in this program. Some of the kids there in New York City that they had on that came in and they are excited to be there. They're teaching other kids, they're learning. And that all stems from having a way to teach them. And it definitely gets getting getting the resources to the STEM teachers so they can come in and teach it. Ham radio, once again, is not necessarily about saving the hobby, but it is going to benefit. The hobby will benefit from these people getting the exposure to amateur radio and learning about science and math and electricity, electronics, and all the fun things out there that revolve around our lives. And so that they know how to do it and they're not relying on AI to do it for them. There you go. That's my rub on AI, but awesome. Well, hey guys, it is, what are we at? We're about an hour 22 into the stream now. I know Nate said he's getting tired. And so the stream's a blast. Why don't we go around the horn here real quick? Greg, what do you got? What do you got coming up on your channel here?
I might do a live stream tonight. Apparently, last night I went live before I thought I was going live. I was going for about 15 minutes. I figured out what happened, but I was on like scanning through some music that I wanted to use and kind of picking my nose, but not really, coughing and looking weird on the camera. And so I'm going to try to, I don't know, I'll probably just try to do a normal live stream here coming up tonight or tomorrow. I might try POTA next week over at Chino Hill State Park if it cools down. It's been over 100 here the last 4 or 5 days, and this is the hottest it's gotten all summer. So I'm not complaining, but I just don't feel like.
Did you meet up with Josh? He was.
I have not yet. No.
Yeah.
We've been trying to connect.
He activated the park the other day, and I was wondering, and I fired up the 991 or I'm sorry, 897, 89, whatever that radio is in the truck. I turned it on, and I couldn't hear him, but I tried.
Yeah, the bands were kind of weird. Like the night that I thought the band was going to be quiet when we had that solar storm, it was like 15 meters was going crazy till like, I don't know, 9:00 at night or whatever my time. And I was making contacts with the East Coast. And then last night or the last 2 nights been dead. So I don't know. We'll see.
There we go. Jamskin, he said it right there. I don't know why all schools don't want to combine physics with math. Having a reason and purpose to do math is what took me to not to hate it. You know what? And schools that teach physics as a math alone should be banned. As Tim hit the sauce. You know, Nate, I'm at that point and I'm tired. It was almost 2:00 last night, 2 in the morning when I wrapped up with the stuff we were doing. And I was back up at 6:30 and on my way to the work. So I'm a little tired. But well, that's cool, Greg. Vince, what do you got going on?
Well, dude, now that I'm in physiotherapy for my bum knee, I'm not biking. It's killing me. I just got this bike and now I can't ride it. I have a small list of videos that I should really get to from around the shop. So I guess I'm going to be focusing on that. But that's it. I had some footage ready to go for Sunday, and then this past Sunday, and then stuff happened. So
Now, is this a
uh,
full e-bike or is it just or is it an electric assist?
this is a power. This is an assisted bike. So my
Okay.
my last two e-bikes have been full e-bikes with a throttle on them and stuff.
Mhm.
First one was kind of a mountain bike style with a spring in the front fork. Second one was a folding commuter bike, more like what K8 MRD's got now, and now this one is a Trek Powerfly FS9. So it hasn't been sold for a few years, but it's a full suspension, seat post dropping style mountain bike, 29-inch wheels. The thing is a beast with a Bosch motor in it, just torque to spare. So it walked up a 30-degree incline down at the national park a few weeks ago, just like I was walking in the grocery store. It was amazing.
But you still have to put
I
the
still
effort
have to,
in.
yeah, I have to
Right.
pedal. There's no easy button on the thing. I still have to do some work. So my quads are getting a workout.
Well, there you go.
And today I learned I have quads that need a workout. So anyway,
There we go. Jeff, how about you?
Finally hit 2,000 subscribers. Thank you all. I appreciate it. People say, well, that's just like the beginning. It's like, yeah, but I started this I was trying to find the actual post, my first post when I mentioned it, and I can't. And I think it was sometime last year. So it's been about a year. I've been trying to struggle to get there, but all in its own time, it'll happen. So it happened, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not holding my breath for anything, but the giveaway, I have 7 prize packages to give away. So it'll be a live stream on a Wednesday night. We're still figuring that out. But
any hints as to what you're giving away?
um,
Do you want to offer any hints? I mean, you can say no.
it's a prize pack, so they all have, like I said in the beginning, they're all going to have an Olight flashlight of some type.
All right.
So there's some ham radio stuff in there that you could use for ham radio. Some novelty stuff, some maybe some EDC gear, maybe some multi-tool kind of like stuff, but everything's going to be like a one-off after the flashlight. So people get, I'm not sure how we'll do it yet, but we'll probably just pick like prize number 1, prize number 2, and whatever that prize is, you'll get. And when you open it up, you'll see it could be a shortwave radio, could be a little multi-tool, it could be, I don't know what else I have, but
All
it'll
right.
be something different in there, but it'd be a whole bunch of other things combined. So
Yeah, cool.
Could it be some of the 1970s kids walking? Well, I started a little handheld thing. They're probably about that tall.
mine was like
The
huge.
Yeah, the kids walkie talkies when we were kids
And
with
I took that
with the
thing
big whip
apart,
on
and I
there.
wish I did it.
47
I'm kicking
megahertz.
myself in the rear end every time I think about that freaking radio. It's like, why did I do that? It was a CB radio.
Yeah, it had the little beeper, little button down there. Yeah, it
Well,
was.
I had-
I believe they were 27 megahertz, but they were.
Yeah, 27 meg. I had
but they
like
were not
7
in
of
a
them growing up.
Were
Yeah.
they in the CB band or were they
Yeah.
just outside of it?
And my father had an
Yeah.
Army telephone / radio. I have no clue what it was. I remember playing with it, but I have no clue where that thing went to. Hopefully I didn't destroy it.
Oh, 46. You know what? Nate, I think they were 49 now that you said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, 49 was the thing, and CB channel 14, as Jody says.
I was big into CB when I was a little kid, so I was always interested in radio. So having a radio back then was something I wanted. Didn't
Well,
know anything
CB
about
was
ham radio.
safe
I
when
just
we
knew
were
about
kids.
CBs.
46 megahertz had the cordless phones on it, didn't it?
49 meg had the cordless phones, yes.
Oh,
So yes,
49,
so
okay.
some of those things would get into cordless phones. That was always interesting, scanning that band, depending on the time of night.
Some great stuff.
Yep.
And that
So we'll
that
be
was long
doing that
before the-
giveaway
Yeah.
on a Wednesday night here, and you gotta be present to win. And I am going to check to see if you're a subscriber or not. I will have a list of subscribers.
And you got to be on the Zed.
On the Zed, yeah.
You got you got to be good on the Zed.
Exactly.
And Tim, what about you, man? What's coming up?
You know, I tell you what, I had a struggle session the other day updating this firmware, and it nothing to do with nothing to do specifically with Seed Studios, but what I have found is that there are two different types of processors that that you're finding most commonly in most of the Meshtastic devices. The ESP32 processor and this NRF whatever situation, and they use two different styles of how you upload your firmware. I thought, maybe it might be worth a good little video just to walk through each one of them and give everybody a good understanding on how to do that, because keeping your firmware up to date is always a good thing.
Yes, it is. I agree.
So that's, yeah. All righty. Any
on.
parting gifts? Anybody got any announcements for the good of the kids table in the chat that
I'm going to post the link to the 30 Days of Ham Radio Education Fund donation page.
Oh, actually, I'm going to do that real quick. I just did it.
Oh.
That goes out to multiple.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes to just more than just the YouTube channel here. We are also streaming tonight on Instagram too, on the Kids Table Instagram channel. So we've got a few people watching over there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, hopefully we rent you to the
Uh-oh.
seat and you no.
I'm just gonna follow right now. By the way,
Dude, let's not start another incident where the White House gets burned down. Okay, we're just not going to go there.
Hey,
So let's stay friends.
Wasn't that the British?
All right,
Or
don't
was that Canadians?
talk about my mustache. All right. Well, hey, everybody, thank you for joining tonight. It was a great stream. If you can, please swing by the page to donate to the ARRL and Jason's thing. And tomorrow night, we have premieres starting before, and then Coffee and Ham Radios is on at 8 p.m. Eastern. Josh will be live streaming his normal 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Jason again on Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget Greg, he'll be out a little bit later tonight, and he does all kinds of fun stuff on HF and shows people how to use the airwaves, but
and how not to do it.
And how not to do it.
You never know what's going to happen on the air when Greg's streaming.
Yeah.
With the high noise floor. All right, guys. Have a great evening. 73.
Sorry, 3.
See y'all.